Hey, how's it going? Just here editing my album, trying to get it ready for the final, to submit it and all that shit. But like, what's taking so long though is that semblance. Semblance is when your S's hiss. And, like now that I've noticed that that's a problem in recording and stuff like that, I'm starting to notice semblance everywhere else in music, you know what I mean? And like professional tracks and stuff like that, even though I'm becoming a professional and things like that. But it's like I'm starting to notice that there's semblance in a lot of different tracks. So I have 3 tracks left to work on. I have to do the vocals on this one again, but it's like, we got a long way to go with that one. And I just wanted to let you know that I'm like running a few days late. I'm not gonna Axl Rose it. I'm not gonna be like 10 years later. I'm gonna, get it done this month, and I should have it submitted within a couple of days. And I hope everything works out. And I really, really hope I get on like iTunes, Spotify, and all that stuff like that, and have the option to make a couple of pennies there. You know what I mean? Because only like 5% of people buy their music. So, but it's like, I want to make thousands of tracks anyway, so I want to make sure that I keep putting them into the system of like radio plays and stuff like that. I have a couple of songs that I want to build off of, like Baby Daddy Superstar. I literally want to call radio stations and be like, hey, can you play my track? You know what I mean? This is the ISRC number and stuff like that. And I literally want to call college radio stations in Winnipeg and stuff like that to get them to play my track and all that stuff. And that's what I'm going to do as soon as I figure this out, And like the semblance is the main problem, but also I have to redo the vocal tracks for like 1 or 2 things after like listening to it. Like I finished the album and I was like, yes, I finally fucking finished it. And I thought it was finished, right? But then like I listened to it a couple times and I took some notes and I put everything down on each track. A couple tracks I was like, perfect, right on, that's good to go. But like for the most part though, like I had notes and I had to work on it today, and I'm working on it right now. And I hope that all goes well with my album, and I hope that you wish me luck in that aspect. And like, it's a really tough process, Like, don't discount it when you hear it, right? Because, like, when you hear the finished product, like, it's going to be so easy to criticize and stuff like that. Like, I'm okay with that. Like, make music for the fans that are both loving and hating, right? That's what it's about, right? So, people are going to judge my work either way, and I just want to let you know that my album Win, Fail, Win is going to come out at the end of this month, hopefully on the 26th, because the 26th is important to me because of the number 26. I have a thing for numbers, as my ex would say. And speaking of that, I just wanted to, disclaimer, just wanted to fucking disclose that, like, I'm not going to talk to Sydney anymore and stuff like that, because, like, we were back together for a week and stuff like that, and, like, I wanted to marry her. Like, literally, in my song Win, Fail, Win, like, if you look at it right now, like, it's online, I asked her to marry me in the song, and it was my plan to ask her to marry me when my album comes out, Like, wanted to give her a ring, get down and propose and everything, Like, Like, that's what I wanted, but she cheated on me. And now she's going to turn it around and play the victim. Like, that's what she does, right? Like, she's going to be like, oh, poor me, blah, 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 I didn't, blah, 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 blah. But the fact is, like, Like, she was getting her makeup on, ready and stuff like that, and I needed to figure out a way to get her to admit that she was cheating to me, and I found out that way, and she did admit that she was cheating with Remi Leclerc, and Remi, like, of course I'm pissed off, but like, God didn't give me this size and this intellect and this brain and this brawn that I both have. Like, he didn't give it to me to bully anybody around. So, she was going to cheat with somebody else anyway. So, you're in the clear there. If I ever, like, if I ever punch you, you deserve it, right? Like, you can fucking admit that as a man, you would deserve a fucking punch from me. But am I going to? Probably not, because, like, I know I can hurt anybody I want. You know what I mean? Like, that's just the way life is. Like, it's so easy to hurt somebody, it's so easy to kill somebody, and like, that's just the way things are. So I'm not going to retaliate on that part, but I want you to know that I wish she slept with a better musician. Anyways, yep. I'm Selkyrk, And my album Win Fail Win is going to be coming out soon, and I just wanted to let you know that, like, you know, the only victim in Sydney cheating is our daughter. Like, we were going to get back together and raise our family, and Sydney asked me for a baby. She fucking asked me for a second baby, and I was going to give her a second baby. I was going to give her a life. I was going to give her a marriage, what she wanted, basically. But she failed. You know what I mean? She failed, and I win because instead of her cheating later on in the future when we're all married and growing a family together, she cheated now before I asked her to marry me. You know, before I got down on my knee and like, hey, will you marry me and raise a family with me? Like, because I love you and I love our daughter so much. But now I can just throw those feelings... I can just throw those feelings away right now, right? Like, I don't need to hang on to those feelings anymore. And she's trying to get back together with me. For the last 2 days, she called me like 63 times on my phone, I think it was. And like, I'm not answering. Like, I've like take a fucking hit, Sydney. I don't want to talk to you ever again. I don't want to see your hideous fucking face. Just fucking leave me the fuck alone. I love our daughter, but you know what I mean? That is what that is, and that's just the true fact of my life. This is my life. This is my real fucking life. And that's what that is, but... Okay, moving on from that whole Sydney situation. Barbara Marsh, I tried to get in contact with you like 5 fucking times this year. It's, you know, it's the end of January almost, and I've been trying to get in contact with you to see my son. If you see this somehow, you fucking trap, can I see my son? Please, 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 can I see my son? You know the way you miss him when he goes to sleep at like my dad's, because, you know, you use my family? You use my family even though you destroyed our family. Like you said, that will always be together forever, but you use my dad and you use his wife to fucking babysit and shit like that, and they're on board because it's flesh and blood, right? It's my flesh and blood, like, and your flesh and blood too. You promised our family would always be whole. But anyways, the way you feel like you miss our son for the weekend when he's gone for the weekend, I get that feeling for you and for our son every day. So, you know what I mean? Like, when you're like, oh, I miss my boy, you don't know how it feels. It's like, I know how it feels every day, Barb. I fucking love you. We can be a family together right now, like you promised. I love you, Barbara. And tell our son I love him too. You know what I mean? Like, he's a great boy, and like, truth is, I would love to raise him to play music and be a good musician and all that stuff. And like seriously, like, when our son is like 15, like, send him to me and we'll like produce albums together and stuff like that. And like, you know what I mean? It'd be a step towards musical, you know, inclination in terms of his life and stuff like that. You know what I mean? If he wants to be a musician and all that stuff, which would be kind of cool. I mean, but, you know, I hope he chooses science more than music and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like, that just, I hope he becomes a nerdy doctor. You know what I mean? Instead of like me, where I'm just this crazy musician guy flipping out, and like, I'm sober right now, but that's how my musician mind is, though. It's just like, it's really abstract and really out there, and people think I'm crazy because of it, right? I mean, like, people don't look in their own backyards. People don't be like, oh, I'm crazy too. No, they just go, oh, that guy's crazy. And then, like, you know, with like no fucking like looking at themselves, they just say, hey, I'm crazy. But like, I know I'm crazy when I say that people are crazy. I know that, like, you know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I look into my own backyard and I see a crazy artist, musician, poker player, and I'm going to develop myself into those things. And as far as my careers go, and like, obviously I'm going to need some like daytime job to kind of sustain that musical production lifestyle and stuff like that until I can be able to do it on 100%, right? 100% music all the time. That'd be fucking great. That's what I'm working on right now, to become somebody that can play music 100% of the time, every day, just all day making music. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I want. I want to do shows and all that stuff when COVID subsides and all of that shit. You know what I mean? Like, that's for real. That's what I want. And the second, you know, another baby mama. Hey, Roxanne, I love you. Get in contact with me so that I can take my daughter and we can hang out sometime. Call my phone. I still got the same phone number, so give me a call. Okay, Roxy, love you. Thank you for our daughter, Lavina, and thank you, Barbara, for our son. And that's that. And that's as far as baby mothers go, anyway. And sex in Selkyrk. You know what I mean? Like, I'm looking for a girlfriend right now who is COVID clean, who is, you know what I mean, like, who wants a one-on-one relationship and who wants to hook up, you know what I mean, like, come over tonight and we'll watch movies together, you know what I mean, come over tonight and we'll cuddle together. If you're looking for a relationship, that's what I'm looking for right now. My future is pretty much going to be like, make music every day, play poker every day, and like, just really, I'm a creative person, right? That's who I am. But like, I share myself very honestly. So to a certain extent, if we become part of a relationship, if you know what I mean, like down the line, there might be a point where I share parts of us together. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean, if we get married or something like that, I'd be like, guess what? I'm getting married to so-and-so, Emma Stone. You know what I mean? Like, whomever. I'm sure she's already married because she's pretty beautiful and she wouldn't cheat like Sydney would. At least that's how I think anyway. That I don't think she would cheat. But anyways, I just want to say, like, thank you for listening. Thank you for being there for me. You're here for me right now just by listening to this video, and I appreciate that. And if you're in Selkyrk, Manitoba, and you want to create music together, give me a call. We'll fucking create songs together. I'm looking for a protege. You know, I'm looking for somebody who's a bit younger than me to like help develop their music career, so that they, you know, will have a way to go. You know what I mean? Like, I'll help you produce your album. That's what I want to do. That's what I want you to help me to do also. You know what I mean? Mutual friendship in terms of music. You know what I mean? But at the same time, I'm not here to make friends. I'm here to make music. So, you know what I mean? That's the way that is. Like, I've tried that whole like friendship aspect and stuff like that, and like everybody gives up on everybody. It doesn't matter who it is. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you can be my parents, you'll give up on me. You can be my brothers and sisters, you'll give up on me. You can be my best friend, you'll give up on me. Everybody gives up on everybody. So I mean, like, at the end of the day, never give up on yourself. But if we do become friends who are musicians, just remember it's only going to be temporary, because that's human nature. You know what I mean? That's quality of human nature. I mean, like, and nowadays, like, family and stuff like that, it's not as important as it used to be. You know what I mean? Like, if it was, Barbara Drayton and I would be a family like she promises. Like, we can be a family right now. But it's like family and like marriage and stuff like that, it's 2021, right? It's not 1800 where it's like 1 billion people existed or whatever. I forget the population in 1800, but it was like considerably less than the 8 billion that we have right now. So it was a bit more easier to stay married and stay loyal to one another in the 1800s. And now we're in like, you know, like the 2000s, and it's just, you know, I mean, everybody's looking out for number one, and everybody gives up on everybody. So it's like marriage and family and stuff like that, it just doesn't seem like it's gonna work. You know what I mean? I've been trying so fucking hard. Like, Barbara Drayton and I, we can be together and married forever. You know what I mean? But that's not who people are in this world. You know, like, I love you, Barb, wherever you are. Like, you won't even acknowledge that I exist, even though I love you and I've always been really good to you. And like I've asked you for our son so many times this year, and I asked you for our son so many times last year. I fucking miss our baby boy, and you won't let me see him. But at the same time, you're like, oh, he never sees his son, he never asks to see his son. It's like, I asked to see my son, and like a couple of videos back, you can see me asking again to see my son, and now I'm just like so frustrated with you as an individual, as a human being. Like, you promised that we'd at least co-parent, but you're not even keeping up that promise. You know, like, you're a bad mom, Barb. Straight up. But it's like, that's okay though. You're allowed to be, because you're his fucking, you know, you're his fucking go-to. You're his parent, right? That he lives with, and he has no fucking choice but to listen to your fucking bullshit, Barbara. Even though, like, we can be a family raising our son together right fucking now, and we can have more babies like you wanted. You know what I mean? Like, you remember that we had like a miscarriage before we had our son? Like, we can have more babies. But back to music. My album, Win, Fail, Win, should be out shortly. My album, Win, Fail, Win. I hope it's going to be good. Like, it felt really good. Like, I listened to it yesterday. It was like the first version of it, right? Like, I listened to it, and what happened was I took a bunch of notes, and it was actually 60 minutes long, which is awesome. That's awesome. I mean, 15 tracks, 60 minutes long. That's a show. That's a set, right? I mean, like, I learned those songs and how to perform them live with energy and tenacity, and like like, you know, really give my all and like perform, then that's what I'm gonna do. You know, I'm gonna, you know, do shows in Selkyrk, Manitoba. Like there'll be shows at like the Merch, there'll be shows at like Roxy's and stuff like that. I'll find places to do shows if, you know, like whatever it takes, because I'm serious about being a musician. And like, you know, I want to like do shows in Brandon, I want to do shows in Winnipeg, I want to do shows in Toronto, I want to do shows in Edmonton. How am I going to pay for it? I don't know. Hopefully I'll do something. What, Kickstarter? No, I'm joking. I don't know. I'll figure something out though, because that's what I want with my life. I want to be able to do shows and at the same time tour playing poker. You know what I mean? Like I want to be able to go play poker in Montreal and for a World Poker Tour Championship at Playground Poker Club, and like, you know, take my shot and go for that World Poker Tour Championship that I've been looking for all my life. You know what I mean? Like, I'm going to take my shot, but at the same time, on that same weekend, I want to be able to do shows as Selkyrk in Montreal, you know? So it's like, I have a plan. I just got to figure it out and how to get there. And my album, Win, Fail, Win, will be released by the end of this month. I hope you listen to it. I hope you like it. And thank you very much. You all have a great day.